Hello there, this is Ken Fobb from NewsNet Baton Rouge. So grab yourself a coffee, a tea, or a juice as I share the headlines from our local and surrounding areas and regions. A man drove his vehicle into a home in Baker, Louisiana. Yes, into a house. He's been arrested for DWI for having a blood alcohol content twice the legal limit. Baker Police Chief Carl Dunn says that the crash occurred around 3:30 p.m. into a house on Whitehead Street. The suspect, named Derek Walker, a male of 47 years old, was given a breathalyzer test which showed his blood alcohol content at the time to be at least 0.15. He was also driving 50 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone. He was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Jail on one count of DWI, one count of careless operation of his vehicle, one count of failure to maintain control of his vehicle. He also had an open alcoholic container in his vehicle at the time, and he was also booked on one count of damage to property, of course. In related news around the area concerning some violence, a man has died 6 months after being shot on North Ardenwood Drive in Baton Rouge. Police say he was shot back on July the 8th, but he became the first homicide victim, unfortunately, in 2019 in our area when he died on Tuesday, almost 6 months after the shooting. His name was Cedric Washington, a male of 23 years old. This shooting took place near the 2200 block of North Ardenwood Drive, but Cedric Washington was a resident of Baton Rouge who lived at 6438 Winborn Drive. Still, no suspects, no motives, and anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 225-344-7867. Now, a Baton Rouge woman has been arrested and is accused of shooting at 6 people in 2 separate cars during a fight on Airline Highway. Keon Jones of 7626 Airline Highway, 30 years old, told police that she was getting her nails done in the 6300 block of Airline Highway when a group of 6 people came inside the business and attacked her. According to the police report, Ms. Jones herself stated that she followed the people outside to get a handgun from her boyfriend's vehicle, which was parked outside, and she began to shoot. She admitted to firing several shots at 2 fleeing vehicles. It is not known at this time whether anyone was injured in the incident, but Ms. Jones was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison on 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder and illegal discharge of a firearm. And finally, some 24 new Louisiana laws took effect on New Year's Day. Here are just a few. Convictions for serious felony crimes will now require jury verdicts that are unanimous. Louisiana and Oregon were the only states that still allowed accused felony criminals to be sentenced to life in prison after conviction with a jury verdict of less than a unanimous jury verdict. Lawmakers have also instituted new sexual harassment guidelines across this state, requiring state agencies and municipalities to provide at least 1 hour of sexual harassment training to each employee. The law now also requires agencies to report a verification of the training to the legislature. And the laws now set guidelines on how to handle accusations of sexual harassment in the workplaces. The new laws now also provide for the possibility of what are called granny cams to be placed in nursing homes for family members to monitor their loved ones. Furthermore, student ID cards now that will be issued by all Louisiana public schools who offer 4-year degrees must now also contain information on those ID cards needed to become valid voter ID cards. Although most of these new laws were directly approved by the Louisiana legislature, the new unanimous verdict law was approved actually by the voters during the recent November elections after the Louisiana legislature placed it on the ballot for consideration by the voters to become a constitutional amendment, which it did. Now, these have been your headlines for today, and I'm Ken Fobb, and I will see you next time on NewsNet Baton Rouge. Have a great day.